want to talk about Tampa traditions. The Cuban sandwich, which Mayor Buckhorn is making the Cuban sandwich, the official sandwich of Tampa. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I think it's cool because I love traditions. I love being a part of tradition. Richard Gonzmart, his family's been part of a Tampa tradition, my goodness, since Tampa was created, Tampa, I think, almost.
For 107 years, we've been proud to be part of the community.
Yeah, good for you. And as we sit here, we got, I mean, these are the mainstays. The 1905 salad, the Cuban sandwich. Let's talk about that 1905 salad. What's the history behind that, Richard?
Well, the 1905 salad is a great combination of iceberg lettuce. The iceberg lettuce used to be brought in by trains with ice on it. That's where the name came about. The tomatoes grown in Paris, Florida by friends of ours, Swiss cheese, the ham that we use in the Cuban sandwich, and the great garlic dressing with olive oil, vinegar, and Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce.
So that's the secret ingredient, Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, you know, it was named one of the top 10 salads in the United States to make a meal out of.
What is a better seller, the 1905 salad or the Cuban sandwich?
You look at all three items here. The Spanish bean soup, which is a creation of my grandfather from a soup made in Madrid.
Let's look at this.
It's got garbanzo beans, chorizo, and ham, potatoes. You know, people think, I went to Spain one time asking for Spanish bean soup. They didn't know what I was talking about.
So you're like going to China and asking for Chinese food.
So you're looking at three items here that are staples here in Tampa, especially at the Columbia. These are the three most popular items. Get a Cuban sandwich and a cup of soup, Cuban sandwich and a 1905 salad. And many times people just get a half a Cuban because that's a great lunch, great meal.
Oh, the mouths are watering all over the place. What do you think? We briefly talked about it in the last segment, but the mayor, I think, is really trying to just identify our city with special things and recognizing the Cuban sandwich as ours.
Well, you think of Philadelphia, you think of the hoagie. You think of San Francisco, you think of sourdough. You think of New York, you think New York pizza. You think of Chicago, the deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
So why not?
Kansas City ribs, right? I mean, we have
Kansas City ribs, right?
Gumbo in New Orleans, or so.
Each city has something, and we're really proud of the Cuban sandwich in Tampa. It's the signature of the people that made Tampa what it is today. The Italians, the Germans, the Spanish, the Cubans.
Well, that's just it. And it was a blue collar lunch. I mean, these were people going to the cigar factory here in Ybor City that really put this on the map.
It was always inexpensive, and it was always a great value as it is today. But the people would be walking to work in one of the 180 cigar factories, grab it through the takeout window, and eat it on the way to work or on the way home.
And that's why it didn't have mayonnaise on it. That wouldn't have kept.
No, it just wouldn't have kept. You know, you can add. We won't put mayonnaise on. We'll bring it to you so you can add it yourself. I don't want to ruin it.
If you order it, they won't even put it on it. They'll bring it on the side. And originally called the mixto.
Mixto.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, mixto. It's all mixed up.
All mixed up. All mixed up. And those who say salami isn't Cuban, you say you're right. It's Italian. That's exactly right.
That's what makes our sandwich signature. It's what makes us different than Miami. That's what makes Tampa, Tampa.
We've been talking about the Cuban sandwich all day because Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn is going to make the Cuban sandwich the official sandwich of Tampa today. So we've been having any excuse to come down to the Columbia. Talking with Richard Gonzmart, who I just found out today is being honored as Citizen of the Year.
Well, the Civitans are going to host a luncheon. They honored me actually as a surprise at the State Fair Governor's Luncheon, and I was really surprised when they announced my name.
Congratulations, Citizen of the Year.
Must mean I'm getting old.
It's a big deal.
I'm very, very honored.
Well, and you know, talk about this. To put this restaurant in perspective, it's the oldest restaurant in Florida, family-owned.
We're the oldest restaurant in Florida. Period.
And then
we're one of 13 restaurants that's 100% owned in the United States by the original founding family.
That's over 100 years.
Over 100 years. Only 13. There was 14, but one of the restaurants 2 years ago sold 75%.
Wow.
That's a big deal. I didn't realize that. And I'm taking the opportunity to go visit each one of them to talk about it and start the first family of fine dining.
So who started this Columbia restaurant in 1905?
My great-grandfather. Actually, it started in 1903.
Oh, is that right?
December 17th, the same day the Wright brothers took flight.
Well, why isn't it the 1903 salad?
Well, you can order without tomatoes. That's the 1903 salad.
Okay, all right.
What it was called the Columbia Saloon, and my great-grandfather was the general manager of a brewery here in Ybor City, and the breweries would open these saloons. But then in 1905, my great-grandfather bought the saloon and made it the Columbia Cafe. Well,
and so many faces have come through here, and so many people have enjoyed Babe Ruth. You were telling me some stories, but I think my favorite story so far might be Joe DiMaggio and his
Marilyn Monroe.
Lovely bride at the time, Marilyn Monroe.
I believe the year was 1952, and they were eating in the patio dining room, and Marilyn went to the ladies' room, a little distressed, and Lula Mae Tolman, who was a wonderful person, and women would come to visit her, and she would pray and read the Bible. Well, Marilyn went in there for about 40 minutes, and Joe had to send somebody after her. And when they went in, Lula was reading the Bible with her.
And she was the bathroom attendant at the time.
Yeah, ladies' room attendant. And so we have a dish named the Marilyn and Joe Salteado. So everything's mixed up.
Like the mixto. Yeah. Well, I love it. And you know, we're just talking about getting ready for the big Republican National Convention. Rich's, the Columbia Restaurant, is going to be providing food for Fox News. They're taking over the Tampa Bay History Museum. That's where their headquarters is going to be. So obviously they're choosing the right restaurant.
Well, I'm excited because my friends in Spain say, "Where are you from? Miami?" Okay, Miami, and said no. So Tampa's going to be in the forefront of everybody around the world. I'm sure we're going to shine.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
And you know what? You're going to sell a lot of Cuban sandwiches.
Thanks to your help, we're going to be selling a lot of Cubans.
Today, definitely. Richard, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
6th of the year. That's a big deal. Russell, there we go. Happy Cuban Sandwich Day to you.
Thank you, and you too. And you know why Richard's getting that award? Because he does a lot of things that people never even know about in this community for a lot of people.